I'm Luke. I'm a second-year DPT student in the physical therapy program at Elon University. I'm here with my colleague, Tiana Harris, who's a second-year DPT student, and then our faculty advisor, Dr. Srikant Vallabhajosula. And I think he is going to share the screen if that's possible, so we can kind of show a quick presentation that we've made. He's going to take it away for us. If at any point you guys have any questions, please interject. We're excited to talk a little bit about this program and hope you guys get a lot from it.
Thank you, Jake. Thank you, Luke.
Thank you, Luke. And thank you, Dusty, for giving us this opportunity to talk. I really, really appreciate it. And so to begin with, I'm going to give an overview of our fall risk program that we are conducting at Elon, especially for lung cancer survivors. And I need to let you know that this has been funded by the Lung Cancer Initiative of North Carolina. So we've been very fortunate to receive funding from them. Before I jump into what we do, I thought it'll be good for you to see our team. Currently, the team comprises of 3 faculty members: Dr. Elizabeth Evans, who is on the top right here, top left here, and then Dr. Stephen Bailey, and myself. But I'll also say that we are the behind the scenes people, but the face of the program, the people actually who do a lot of hard work are Luke, Ty, and the 2 of the other first year students who are there on the slide, Daniel and Victoria. And just to give a small background, Dr. Evans has done quite a lot of research with cancer survivors, some research with lung cancer survivors, and some research with breast cancer survivors. Dr. Bailey has a cardiopulmonary physical therapy background. He's a PT. So, and he has done, he teaches the pulmonary rehabilitation content in the program and also does a lot of research in that. And I come in with the more like fall risk evaluation, some techniques and some balance aspects of it. So that's how this project came, this program came about. All right. So before we tell you what we are doing, we thought it's important for us to tell you why we are doing what we are doing. So I'll take a couple of slides just to give you a brief introduction as to where the need is coming from our perspective. So as you may already know, lung cancer mainly occurs in older individuals. So with increasing age, the risk factor increases, and along with aging, even if one doesn't have lung cancer, there's an increased amount of fall risk or other factors that will play in terms of reducing the quality of life. So, and especially this becomes more problematic if aging is accompanied by these other comorbidities. So especially if you look at fall risk, CDC has put out guidelines that 1 in 3 or 1 in 4 older adults experience an unintentional fall. So you lose your balance and you reach the ground, and it can have dire consequences in terms of injuries, especially hip injuries and unintended medical costs. And there are several factors as to why people fall. Some of them are behavioral and can be changed or can be prevented. Some of them cannot be, right? So we try to address those that we can, if we can try to minimize the risk of falling because of those factors. For example, problems due to balance loss, due to muscle loss or weak strength, or if someone has slow reflexes, how exercise could help them, something like that. And then, so if a person experiences fall, unfortunately, there's a rehabilitation protocol where they work with physical therapists, like how you do with Luke and Ty in the future, right? They're becoming physical therapists. And there's like set of exercises you can do to strengthen your muscles again and gain the balance and proprioception, things like that. And then there's this element of education about falls as well. So the reason I'm mentioning all this is because the program we have designed kind of tries to encompass several of these factors. So after fall, exercise is good, but I think even better is to prevent the falls, right? And that's where we come in, where we are trying to, through the program, empower individuals to minimize that risk of falls by advising them on some of the exercises they can be performing based on where they are in terms of their quality of life. So all said and done, we have designed our fall risk program to address several of these factors. So all these factors that you're seeing in the golden background can contribute to an increased risk of falls or lower quality of life. So someone might have a poor balance or have a greater fear of falling, right? And that can influence them to have less amount of physical activity or walk slowly, right? Have reduced strength. There's several factors that can be addressed. Not everyone will have all these factors, right? And some of you may not even have any of these factors that are affecting your quality of life, and that's perfectly fine, right? It's more about either reducing the fall risk or maintaining your current health status so that you don't increase your risk of falls. So that was the background on why we are doing what we are doing, and I'll let Luke take on from here as to what exactly, so what's in it for you if you sign up for this, what should you be expecting?
Yeah, so this is the exciting part, and you're going to see me get way too excited and start rambling. But we came up with this program specifically to be a tailor-made program for each individual. And so we ultimately have a 6-week virtual program, virtual being like the highlight because you don't have to leave your house for this. And we're in each session, it usually lasts for about 30 to 45 minutes. And one of the things I really want to highlight is we've had multiple participants, and we've had a participant that could very barely reach down and grab an item off the ground without feeling unsteady or any sort of that matter. But we've also had participants that play golf every day and have very high quality of life, and they still at the end talked about how much they benefited from this program. What this program requires is an opportunity for you to set your physical assessment baseline. We look at qualities of strength, of power, endurance, and function. And if you are willing to, we have questionnaires that help in a research manner, but they also look at your quality of life. They look at your cognitive anxiety, depression. They look at your general overall function and just all of those aspects. I could go into details, but they would probably drive you mad to hear all of them. But what this is, the big focus and what I really want to get into is the 4-week tailored home exercise program. So we have Ty and I right now, and also Victoria and Daniel, who aren't here with us, but they're our first year research students. We customize based off 4 exercises to improve those physical assessments that we gather at baseline. And so you can kind of direct your eyes to the right, and you see that the physical assessments I have listed are what are called a timed up and go, a 5-time sit stand, and a 2-minute step test. So just to kind of give you an idea quickly of what a 5-time sit stand is, I will give you that. That is just simply us being in a seated position and completing 5 reps of that as fast. And the interesting thing about that test is it actually tells us a lot about your fall risk. It tells us if you don't complete it within a certain amount of time, there is a likelihood that you will fall in the next year. That's backed by a lot of research. And I can tell you really excitingly, we've had participants that were over the fall risk by about 4 seconds. So really high likelihood of a fall. And by the end of the 4-week tailored home exercise program, they were 4 seconds under the fall risk. And as you can see, the more dramatic statistics that, right, we have improvement in all 3 of these tests, 31%, 15%, 35%. So all significant improvements coming out of it in just 4 weeks. And what we try to do is each week in a tailored home exercise program intervention, we will go over those 4 exercises. We'll kind of custom them. Sometimes adding your eyes being closed, sometimes adding a pause at the top, which don't you worry, everyone's going to get to try this in a second, but we are customizing it. And after 4 weeks, we'll do one final home exercise program sheet. And each week we're sending out a sheet via email. And that's allowing you guys to write notes and keep us up in the loop about how everything's going. And again, at the end of the day, we just want you to get better each week. And that's our goal. So I'm not going to let anyone else miss out on the opportunity. One of our exercises, if you want to right now, you can get up and do it with us, is high knees. And I'm going to really advise the people that are driving right now that high knees while driving is probably not the best opportunity. So, but what we're going to do is we're just going to complete 5 high knees on each leg, trying to hold that leg up for a second. If you have to hold on to a surface like a chair or a table, that's okay, but we're going to do 5 on each leg. And what I want you to do is when you're completing each one, kind of feel if you're a little shaky. If you're a little shaky, that's a chance for you to fall. And that's what we can benefit in these 4 weeks. Good. Awesome.
How long do we hold our leg up?
Yeah, so that is a great question. So right now, I'm okay with you holding up for 1 to 2 seconds, but we have participants that are holding up by 5 seconds with their eyes closed at the end of this session. And when you close those eyes, it gets much trickier. So this is just an opportunity for everyone to see what it feels like. Awesome. So if you were able to complete it, you notice that as you kept that leg up a little bit longer, it got a little tricky at times. You started to feel a little unsteady, and that's what we're going to benefit. The big highlight right here is the fall risk questionnaire. And so this is one of the questionnaires that we have each participant fill out. We saw, I'm going to be generous to this study, I'm biased, right? But 14.9, so basically 15% decrease in fall risk concern. And that's a significant amount. I have testimonials listed down here that we actually have videos of, so we're going to listen to them. I don't want to have to make everyone read this small font. It came out a little smaller than we would like. And you're going to get to hear their story about how they felt after these 4 weeks. This infographic, before we go to the next slide, I just want to make note, we're going to send this to Dusty to also be something that can be sent out, because this is a very user-friendly infographic that you'll notice has a little QR code, but it also has the link to directly sign up. But we'll have that at the end of this PowerPoint as well. So Dr. Vallabhajosula is going to go to the next slide, and we're going to listen to 2 of our participants. I am not able to hear it, Dr. Vallabhajosula.
Okay, let's try again.
What were your expectations before starting the program, and how did the program differ from those expectations?
You know, I don't know that I had any real expectations when I started. It was kind of this blank of, you know, I'm not sure what to expect. But once I got started in it, I started to see how this was going to progress and how this was going to benefit me. And so it became clear what the goal was. And, you know, the goal is to improve my balance so that I'm less of a fall risk. And I think that's really important as we age. And so I just feel like I got a lot out of it, because I think my fall risk has decreased.
That's awesome. And we saw that the tests show that too. So it all correlates really well.
Yeah.
The second question they had kind of ties into what you just said, but on a day-to-day basis, have you noticed changes? And if so, what are they?
I have noticed changes. Some of the yoga poses are easier for me now. So I think that kind of is indicative of the fact that I'm doing better. Obviously, I'm doing better because of the testing you just put me through. I still have concerns about my left foot not being that great. I'm not sure how much that's going to progress, or if it's just one of those things that is just, it's reached its plateau. You know, I don't know that at this point. I've been working at it for over a month now, and while it may have improved, it has not gotten to the point where it's the same as the right.
Yep.
And I have to be able to tell myself that it's it's okay. You know, I've got a right foot in, and between the two of them, they'll keep, you know.
Yep. And it's one of those things where all of our movements that we have are focused on both legs. And while it might not be equal between the two, as long as you keep giving the same effort between the two, you'll keep them maintained at the same rate. So that's
Yeah.
good.
Yeah.
Well, Jenny, it has been our pleasure to do this over the last
Thank
4
you
weeks.
so
And we're
much.
so appreciative that you've been a part of this.
Yeah, I thank you, and you know, I will try my very best to keep it up because I do see some results, and I don't want to start lapsing.
Yeah, and don't hesitate to reach out to either of us if you have any follow-up questions or anything down the line.
Okay.
We're always available.
Yes.
They'll have both our emails in the intervention today when we send it.
Okay.
We'll include both our emails. But don't hesitate to reach out to
Very
us.
good. Thank you, Luke. Thank you, Ty. I appreciate all your help.
Thank you. And as we progress to the second testimonial, this was just some questions we asked at the end. We are just we like to genuinely find out. So those weren't questions that were on questionnaires. They were just questions that we like to get feedback because we are students right now, and we're still learning how to improve our scope of practice and improve the balance aspect. And so one of the things I really liked in her testimonial is how vulnerable she was. She just told that her left foot still had issues, and that was something we dealt with weekly. But it wasn't the fact that we thought we were going to improve everything, but just to see differences and to feel the confidence that we got out of these participants was really great. So we're going to show the second testimonial, and then we'll wrap it up.
What were your expectations before starting the program, and how did the program differ from those expectations?
I guess I expected to improve my balance. That's one of the things. I mean, when we first did the assessment, that's what I was told that I could work on. The other things were pretty easy. It's not a strength thing per se, it's more the balance. And I feel like I've met those. I mean, I think I still have a way to go, but I'm looking forward to playing golf this weekend so I can see if it helps.
Yeah.
Because it should. It helped me stay centered, you know. So I'm looking forward to that. And I'll let you guys know. I'll let Ty know how it goes.
Yes, please do. Let us know.
Yeah.
When you hit your hole in one, can you like send us a picture of it? I said, when you hit your hole in one, can you send us a picture of it?
Okay. I've only had one of those in my life, but
Hey, that's
You're
more
about,
than
you're about
most
to have
people.
two. You're about to have
That's
two.
amazing.
okay. Awesome.
Okay, and then the second question I have is, on a day-to-day basis, have you noticed any changes? And if so, what have you noticed?
I do feel more balanced. I've been doing a lot of yard work, which that's a lot of squatting. Also, you know, digging, I'm sort of, when I'm using the shovel, I'm on one leg. And that I don't find myself, you know, tipping over like I used to when I was trying to press down with the shovel. And I was telling them that the dog tends to get in my way right much, and I sort of tripped over him, and I was able to catch my balance. Where sometimes I don't, I go, you know, down.
Good. Are you more confident in your balance now than you were before the program started?
Oh yeah, definitely.
Good. Good. What were
I thought it ended. I want to make sure. Yeah. So I know everyone is curious is if we found out how the golf round went. It went significantly better. So the golf is getting better. I can't say the same for myself when I play because I know it's not as pretty. The balls go everywhere. But yeah, it's just been really exciting to get to know everyone and just form a relationship with them as well, and just progressively see them improve. We had an individual that I really want to touch upon this. We didn't have one of their videos, but we had an individual that when we were completing the 5-time sit to stand test, and I showed you guys how this was completed. The individual, when they crossed their arms, could not even get out of the chair. And by the end, they could get out of the chair with a little extra momentum. And the moment they did that in the intervention session, or when we were practicing the 1 week, it was the happiest reaction I've ever seen in my life. And it was just so meaningful. So it's cool to see the progression that occurs. wrapping up everything and like the big takeaways is this program is comprehensive. It covers a multitude of factors from function to power, strength, to quality of life, and so much more. It's customized to each individual. It's completely online and virtual, and it's completely free. And so this is a QR code. And one of the ways that you can actually do that is if you use your phone and you go to the camera and you just like hover over that spot, it'll do this and it'll just say open qualtrics.com link. And that will take you right to the survey if you're interested in participating. Dusty got it right away. So it's working pretty smoothly. But the infographic that can be sent out also has the QR code and also has the link. Our goal with this program is just to reach as many lung cancer survivors in North Carolina as possible. And we're excited for you to reserve your spot and sign up today.
Can I ask a couple questions, Luke?
I'd love that.
So, one, thank you. And I'm going to, if you're okay with this, I hope you are, but I just want to explain to everyone that Lukas reached out to me multiple times.
Yep.
I blew him off. I didn't even respond. And, and he kept persisting. And I'm like, you know, as you guys know, in the lung cancer, you know, on our lung cancer journey, we've got so many problems, if you will, challenges to overcome and to face. And I thought, you know, this is on the bottom of the list. And eventually, because Lukas wouldn't go away, then I finally just said, listen, we've got all these problems, and a fall is not on the top of the list. And he really put together a very thoughtful, you know, very smart response and showed me how this program, it's not just about the falls, and it is custom tailored to everyone's individual needs in the lung cancer, you know, if they're a lung cancer patient. So kudos to you, Lukas, because, you know, I appreciate your tenacity, and also for you to explain to me the program, although it's started out as the fall risk, you're really expanding and you're meeting and custom tailoring to every individual's needs for their, you know, whether it's balance or like that woman with her foot or golf game or whatever it might be. And so I appreciate that. Now, I did want to ask you about this because I know you got a grant from the Lung Cancer Initiative, wonderful organization, but I'm just wondering, do you only do this for lung cancer patients? Other things, do you do it? Because I'm thinking my husband would be a great candidate for this, but he's not a lung cancer patient.
That's a really great question. And I think Dr. Srikant Vallabhajosula will have the best answer because I don't want to overstep my boundary. I will work this program with anyone, but I want to make sure that he agrees with it.
Right. So for this particular program, right now the focus is with lung cancer survivors, but our goal is to, now that we have this in place, we want to expand it slowly to individual Parkinson's, and we are doing some dance classes with them to slowly expand it to even older adults who might use this as to improve their balance or quality of life. So slowly to expand it, but right now this is for lung cancer survivors because it's coming.
Well, but I'm really impressed that lung cancer patients have priority. That's really awesome because that's unusual.
And I just want to thank everyone again one more time for just allowing this opportunity.